C31 advises the following program is classified MA. It may contain adult themes and coarse language.
Hello, welcome to Cheap Thrills. I'm Elise West. I'm here with...
I'm Leo Berkeley.
We're showcasing micro-budget Australian films in this series. Now, micro-budget means anywhere from, $300,000, and beyond. But what we're talking about is films made from anywhere between $1,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. So this is seriously low-budget filmmaking, but don't let that distract you from the fact that these are really great films, very diverse, very entertaining, and I think that you'll enjoy them. Tonight we're watching Reliving Off the Land, which is kind of a mockumentary about a group of guys who revisit a failed film project of their youth.
Yes, and it's in a tradition. I mean, it's really a film about micro-budget filmmaking in a lot of ways, and there is a bit of a tradition about films that look at the kind of desperation involved in making films with no money. I think the earliest one I can think about is a film that was made in 1980 called Demon Lover Diary. And that was actually a documentary about a group of guys, and one of them chopped their finger off to get the insurance money to make the film.
Keep making the film.
Yeah, and it's just all about the kind of, terrible, sort of slightly kind of incompetent, but very sort of committed efforts to sort of get this sort of cheapy horror film made. And I think Reliving Off the Land does sort of capture both, the kind of desperation and the comedy involved in that kind of situation.
And a bit like Demon Lover, this has got a bit of a celebrity appearance in it as well.
Yeah, it's actually a bit more than a cameo by Richard Franklin, who's actually a very well-known name in the Australian film industry. Sadly died shortly after the making of this film. But he made a whole lot of feature films in Australia, things like Patrick and Road Games. But he also did Psycho 2 in the States, which was the remake of the classic Alfred Hitchcock film. And then came back to Australia and did Hotel Sorrento. So he kind of pops up like randomly in the film. I got a real surprise because I know of him quite well. And I thought he did quite a good job as an actor.
Yeah, he was great. There's also a nice appearance by musician Gotye, the chap previously known as Wally.
Yeah, who did Heart's a Mess, which is a song I really like.
That's right. Now, he turns up and gives a beautiful performance as himself. It's very, very, very funny. So essentially this is made by Paul and Simon, who are old friends. They decided a few years ago to revisit a film that they made when they were teenagers, him and Wally and a few other friends. And Paul tells me that they were so embarrassed at the time because they told everybody, we're making this film, and it was such a disaster that they just abandoned it and never went back to it. But individually, Paul and Simon went on making, films together. And a few years ago, they made a short documentary based around the comedy festival. Then they made a short film called The Man Who Opened Spam, which you can find on YouTube. I recommend you watch it. It's quite nice. If you've ever wondered what happens when you respond to spam, this film gives you a few clues. So they decided that they would revisit the film and make a film about remaking the film, and then make a documentary about making the film about remaking the film. Yep. And that's Reliving Off the Land. They shot about 36 hours of footage. They reckon they spent anywhere between $1,000 and $3,000. It's got their mums in it. Paul's mum makes a lovely appearance, as does his friend Graham. His friend Matt, who plays Graham, who also makes an excellent appearance. They've just started writing a new comedy series, so keep an eye out for that. If you enjoy Reliving Off the Land, there's more coming your way soon.
Very good.
Please enjoy.
Hi, I'm Paul Murphy in Sydney.
And I'm Simon Best, scoping from Melbourne.
And we are the directors of the feature you're about to watch, Reliving Off the Land. About 6 years ago, we came up with a brilliant idea for a horror film about a homicidal farmer. We called it Living Off the Land. So we went out to a farm in rural Victoria and we tried to film, but after only a morning we realised that making a movie was really, really hard. So instead, we spent the rest of the day in the swimming pool. That was our first day of filming Living Off the Land, and also our last.
Years later, we were joking about how shithouse the film actually was, but part of us still wanted to finish it. We couldn't finish it because it was just so bad.
Really bad.
But instead, what we did was make a film about what it would be like if we did finish it, if that makes any sense.
No.
And this is that film, Reliving Off the Land.